that's their standard. They go to it as a standard. I'd say even ECL, we've only run it once in the tournament, so that's versus Red Alert, who runs it several times in a row. When it works or doesn't work, they keep running it. So I think all bets are off. I would not be surprised to see another Void Ray from Red Alert even in this last game. Well, yeah, last game in this series.
Yeah, I think Red Alert is hoping it's not the last game.
Well, last game for one of these two teams, anyway.
No. It will not.
I guess they've got the. They've got the.
Yeah,
the
this
place.
is the semifinals. Whoever loses this goes on to the semifinals to fight for third place.
Yes. In the third place bracket.
I certainly would not be surprised if Red Alert goes Void Ray as well. It is the most successful technique for them, right? So they are likely to go that.
Yeah. And so after 15-20 minutes, we do have the first ready from Yvonne and Red Alert. They are ready to go. Fig Jam just said...
Yeah, and no one is buying that. No one is buying that.
No one believes they're going carrier for a minute.
I'm pretty sure he meant C for Colossus.
Yeah, no matter what, no one's going to buy that he's going carrier. Even if AcesHi were to run a carrier, it would not be Fig Jam. I would say that. Nothing against Fig Jam. Ready. I just think that they have other players who would probably do it.
What is that character? Sadek making a sick Russian jokes here, man. Every Russian right now is just laughing, I'm sure. And we're all like, what does that mean?
So we're getting ready for the third game of the AcesHi versus Red Alert series.
Alright, so since we have some readies, can we go ahead and reintroduce our observer group? I am Crazy, aka Why Must I Sign In? I'm joined by QQQ.
Hello.
Helveticano.
Hi.
And Greater Ninja.
Hello, guys.
So who would like to say the top right team for this game?
I can do that.
Alright, QQQ, you're the man. And so, this is the third of a best of 3 semi-final group of matches between AcesHi and Red Alert. The winner goes on to the finals, the fight for first and second place, and the loser goes on to the alternative bracket to fight for third and fourth place.
And we've had 2 late games in a row. I wonder if we're going to have another, or if it's going to be somebody making a play early.
So in the bottom left, we have Red Alert, and yes indeed, we do have Sonya White on the Void Ray. We have Ivan Opala going 4-3 Colossus, Amigo Deer going Plague Overlord, Fast Forward going Range Missile on the BC, Sonic going Imp, and Severf going Dreadnought. The same comp that they have run in the last 3 matches with many of the same players. But what, oh my lordy, what do we have from AcesHi?
Slight difference in AcesHi, although they did stick with Delta 9 on the levy. He's got constant. We got the big change is we've got a Guardian in this game. Dead 9 on Guardian with 10 range, 1 score. Abra, Raven, EMP, Big Jam, standard 4-3 Colo, and Crackshot on the Void Ray with Nova. Oh, and I missed Red Dog with, looks like Shield Recharge.
That's right, that 120.
Crackshot has started across from the Dreadnought, and Sonya White in the VR has started across from the levy. They're not yet lined up.
Yeah, we'll see how long these teams keep that matchup. I think for now that would favor Aces, because the Dread doesn't have bombs. He's not necessarily going to cut in and make any kind of a dangerous play, whereas the Levy can damage the Void Ray without much recourse at this point in the game, besides having his farm Nova.
And this map is a wide open map. There's no obstacles, no asteroids, no clouds.
Yeah, I mean, Sever can clearly push Crackshot, but to what end? He's not going to be able to cut in and do anything, and only put himself in danger. So here's a good wave of farm for Crackshot coming right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 patches.
No Novas, though.
Same on the top. 7 patches coming for Tanya if he cuts over and gets him.
He's moved to the middle. It looks like Sanya's moving now to the bottom lane to counter.
Ah, so you know who's going to get all that farm is Sanic, which is good for him because he's been under-farmed at the beginning of each game.
Yeah, he'll catch up a little bit.
Not this time. Yeah, well, yeah, he'll catch up. Not under-farmed this time.
So the Guardian can be a really strong choice to win the mid, right? Because you...
If it's played well.
Yeah, a lot of kiting, and you know what? Their Guardian is at, what, 0 damage? I mean, he's not taking any hits right now, so...
Well, I mean, it really, the big strength here is, okay, you know, there's been so much focus on the Void Ray on the side, okay, we're going to be dealing with that, we're going to have our own Void Ray, yes. But there's also the fact of, okay, you know, we're running the L, they're not going to run an L, but they're going to have that Colossus in the middle, and as the game really starts to push on, what's one way you really start to just really frustrate the Colossus? You have a Guardian, right? The Broodlords are very strong against the Colossus in a late game, and we've seen a late game every game so far.
We have, although Aces has got their Levy and their Void that they would like to prioritize farm to, so I'd be surprised if we see significant broods from Dead anytime soon unless they lose a teammate. My guess would be that he's going to get Corrosive Acid as his first upgrade.
It would be a good play. The Guardian makes the middle of AcesHi's composition a little squishy in the late game. It's kind of an easier ship for the Void Ray to run down. And Aces doesn't have an Overlord, so they really can't do splash damage with that Plague effect.
And this is the first of the 3 games that AcesHi has won the initial push and gotten that initial farm lead.
Yeah, the Guardian really helped out with that, I think.
Yeah, at each of the other 2 games, it was Red Alert that did this.
Sonya going 4 beam, no speed, 375 energy.
At least 2 ships are warping to him right now. 3, 4. It's a little bit of a delay, but they're warping to him.
No blink, so
it's... that we didn't see Red Alert making in earlier games. I think if they continue with warp tactics, they'll likely catch AcesHi off guard, although AcesHi might also give it a try. They have the Void Ray as well.
Well, it's a little bit more expensive for AcesHi, right? Because the neither of the Zerg ships really want to necessarily get an early warp unless they need to for something specific.
Yeah, and with that early push, I think Aces is going to feel pretty comfortable. I mean, their Void Ray is farmed up well, and their other ships are okay because of that early push, so I don't think that they're going to feel the need to force it right now.
Delta picks up Rapid Regeneration. Abra with that Imp, the high energy, no system upgrade. Dead Knight already picking up Broodlords with only level 1. Red Dog staying on dedicated shield recharge and 400 energy, and Fig Jam with Lance. From Red Alert, we have Severf with charges. Amigo Deer, Plague Extension. Yvonne, 8 shields. Fast forward scan. Sanic.
Sonya White on Void Ray, he's warping the base. Looks like he might set up a warp trick.
So I have to eat my words now. Dead Knight went for spawning broods. He's got brood spawn, no energy, and adrenal. You probably called that, but he went for brood spawn right away, right off the bat. So I was wrong.
That's really how you push that Colossus.
So Abra right now does not have radar, and Sonya White is deep behind the Aces comp. This could be deadly.
This is totally a warp trick.
Now I think he's a bit wide. He needs to cut in.
They know something's up. They are backing now, but will it be soon enough?
I think it was too wide. He was too wide.
No,
The Colossus will come in here.
It could potentially engage the levy, but it's going to be risky.
I think they're going to turn this into farm.
Severf does have charges.
Yeah, they're going for
There's no Heart and Shield in Fig Jam. Remember that.
Oh wow.
Double shield recharge though. I don't see this doing anything.
Yep.
Aces escapes cleanly. I agree, it was a little wide. He could have cut in earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was...
it's hard for him. We have the advantage of seeing that Farm would not have seen him, but he probably was worried about being spotted by Farm.
But really, I mean, the guard had to be the target there. Or I mean, guard or support. But the support, there's two of them. They cannot help the Guardian. If they could really get on the Guardian with a warp trick, they have to be thinking, you know, we will win the mid after that. Getting a good push on Fig Jam in the mid.
Yeah, he stayed a little bit too long. This is going to end up being a farm advantage here for Red Alert, if anything. They see that there's no warp trick except for the levy overpushed, or not the levy, the Void Ray overpushed on the bottom, and their chance to catch up on the farm.
So Sanic does have radar here, although he might not have the range to be able to see all the ships in the base. Either way, they know there's not a warp trick.
Definitely not going to be a warp trick when you can see just about every ship on the field.
Yeah, I think Red Alert's been scanning pretty consistently. The VC had a scan.
Red Alert's going back here. They were going back after their farming to heal up, and Aces didn't go back. Only Fig Jam has gone back to upgrade on this push, and he's now warped out.
Dead Knight has taken a lot of damage as Guardian. He is below 5,000 health.
And he's staying well far back. They do not want any sort of warp tricky nonsense here.
Yeah, he's up there for support, but he's not really going to be even able to pick up much farm.
And this time around, Sonya and Crackshot as Void Ray versus Void Ray are basically a dead heat for farm. Whereas last game, it seemed like Sonya took the farm advantage at this point.
Yeah, I think Crack might have been a little rusty. Sonya had played one game and was pretty confident playing Void on Void, and Crack maybe needed to get his feet under him there.
Well, if we look at the Void builds, Crackshot is built for DPS. Sonya is more so built for farm, actually, right now.
Well,
Yeah,
farm and denial.
And they're exactly even, so they both had the opportunity to pick the exact same upgrade, but they did not.
I think if this goes mid-late game, this could be very challenging for Red Alert, as they have two very competent support players. And they also have a Guardian that could parasite the Void Ray.
Yeah, the Guardian... It's not exactly the same as the lockdown that the BC would offer.
Yeah, well, and Crackshot may have a chip on his shoulder after last game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's not going to be out-beam speeded this time.
No,
Yeah, it's an interesting late game matchup because the Overlord has high damage potential, and the Leviathan has high damage potential, whereas the Guardian it's a little more of a map control ship, a siege ship with the broods, and the battle cruiser. It depends on how fast forward builds that battle cruiser.
Well, it's, you know, damage against which type of ship, right? The Guardian will be very strong against the battlecruiser and the Colossus in the mid, especially just as the game goes on, which, you know, so far we've seen warp tricks, and we will be seeing another warp trick coming up very soon.
This time around, though, does Abra see it? He may
Not
see
yet.
it.
No, Abra still does not have radar.
Abra don't radar.
This is not that good.
Oh, there we go. He's in behind that levee.
Yeah, he's in good position now. The battle
Red
cruiser
Alert is
warping.
not warping. They should have warped by now.
Here comes the battle cruiser first.
They can wait for that second blink.
Okay.
Here comes the tanks.
You could tell though
Why
that he
is
didn't use.
fast forward going that way?
Well, if they had their Dreadnought there, they
No,
would have
they're
killed
not.
Abra.
They're not going for this. You could tell when he didn't use his second blink to blink in front of them. They were just. This is just a push. They're not committing. Red Alert's not committing.
Blackout.
Blackout.
Fast forward blocked out.
Crack is on fast
Beam
forward.
on fast
Delta.
forward.
But look at
Fast is
this.
taking a lot of
Watch
damage.
out for the counter turn here because he's
7,000
not taking
life.
that much damage.
6,000.
Rift, he might use it.
Watch this, yeah.
5,000.
Red Alert's gonna counter turn here.
4,000. Fast forward is clear.
No, I'm surprised they didn't counter turn. They're just
Well,
on the
several
tank.
people
It's
on
a
the
safe,
there.
the safe counter turn.
Like that blimps away. Abra needs a
Abra is
mine
4,000 life.
and is low.
Cloak is up.
Yeah, Zevrop's on them. It's
Oh, yeah.
the Void Ray
A
should
lot
be
of
in there
damage.
with them.
Abra taking a lot of damage.
Abra's down to
The
1,500.
yeah.
Oh, Sonya.
1,000.
Oh, the cloak.
Cloak is
He's
back
got
up.
that mine to get the
I
kill.
think Sonya should have done that earlier.
Whoa!
So close.
Very hot engage.
I think Sonya could have. He could have done damage earlier and made that bigger advantage for Red Alert.
Red
He
Alert's
waited.
been for a little bit now. Excellent push by Red Alert. Great defense by Aces. Both teams almost come out with the kill.
And the game is still largely even in terms of score. If they had gotten the warp trick in earlier, maybe that could very easily have been a kill.
Yeah, it would have totally changed the game if all Red Alert's players warped at the same time on the Void Ray. If they warped early, they would have killed Abra. Very likely.
I'm not sure if they had realized that Abra had already picked up Blackout. They might have suspected it because of his build. It seemed like they were a little shy, and they were feeling it out.
Sonya focusing heavily on deny in the side lane, now warping back, maybe to set up another warp trick?
I think it would be a good idea for him to keep Aces on their toes. Oh, here goes Fast Forward. Fast Forward is setting this time, although Sonya is pushing out on the bottom side. Fast Forward
Abra, well, I mean, they see him on just the map. They don't even need the radar here. The Leviathan, now they're just using OBFs to keep vision on the sides.
Yeah, and Sonya has chosen instead to clear out the siege in the middle.
Brood's at level 7.
Aces slowly backing up here. They rallied a little bit on some broods that Knight put down there, and now they're continuing their retreat.
In this situation, Red Alert needs to get the blackout. That's going to tremendously help them out.
Train Sanic needs farm. She might be able to get here, but also being very careful not to get into a bad position against Crackshot. Red Dog going back, picking up feedback.
Sonya White has 200 upgrade on Blink. That is quite a bit. 8 radius.
Sonya likes them blinks.
Then Blinks though.
Then I still level 7 now, 425 energy. Delta 9 with Intercept and Corruption.
Sonya's taking a very strong lead at this point over Kraken Farm.
Same as last game, although coming in to get the feedback on Sonya.
Yeah, Red Dog is diving a little bit there.
Sonya's warping out again. We'll see if this becomes yet another warp trick.
Sonya has a major lead over Crackshot in the farm, or a very significant lead.
Now Aber does have radar.
Red Dog's got the feedback and cloak. This is going to become more and more difficult for Red Alert unless they get a kill soon.
Looks like Aces is anticipating a warp on the bottom. Abra's far back on the right side.
Hey, Eber can't actually see anything with radar if he's so far back.
No, he can't see Sonya. Although he
Oh,
does see
yeah,
Sonya.
Aber does not have radar.
He sees Sonya now. He does have radar, and he sees
Oh.
Sonya on the map.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Sonya's already almost on top of him.
But he's got
And the
blackout
Colossus
ready.
warps in. Abra's forced to retreat. This is
BC
this is
warped
gonna
in
be
really
difficult.
early. I think the
for,
BC would have warped in
Seattle.
after the blink.
Delta's just a little bit behind
Cut
the
down on
rest
that
of the
levy.
team. Intercepts
Oh.
up.
Okay, Sonya has blackout now, so anything can happen.
This close to Red Alert or Ace's high side of the map, I'm guessing that they're just calling this a push.
Yep.
These warp tricks by Red Alert, I think have been a major contributor to the difference in farm score between Sonya and Crackshot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something they didn't do in the first 2 games.
Being more aggressive with warp. Still, you know, the compositions are so different that, I mean, it's still an even score game, and it's still very easily go either way. It's just the drop of a hat.
And what we've seen from these two teams, even if they lose a ship, it can still go either way from the other team making a play to make it even.
Here comes Severus and Ivan. They're
Earth
moving on
is
to
pushing
Jump.
very hard.
Yeah, double shield recharge.
Field recharge will keep them very safe.
He looks juicy from that burning, but
Right.
he's fine. However, with the heal time, this is going to give Red Alert a chance to farm a bit.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Big Jam is better off not even worrying about his hull.
Yeah, with double support, two shield transfer ships, just go out there and
Yeah,
play.
he generally doesn't. He just likes to pick a pre-charged shield.
Yeah, he didn't even take full charge.
And there's the frenzy.
He's warping in on. We got stasis? No stasis. He's just looking for a feedback. I was
Whoa.
wondering if they were trying to catch him in a stasis and punish him.
Yeah, they definitely would like to do that. They would like to feedback him and then imp him and then just have the
Here comes the
crack
EMP to
check it
stop
on
the
him.
warp. Nope.
Warped.
Yeah,
Warp,
that was
warp.
they were trying to stop it.
Level
Tanya pushes out normal this time.
Well, the broods are up to level 10, so they're not. I mean, they're not to be ignored. I guess they're not deadly, but you can't discount their effectiveness.
9 radius on Sonya White's blink.
I believe that's the 100 upgrade, right?
I think
That's-
it's more than that.
400 on blink. That's crazy.
400.
400. It starts out as 5 default. If you look at Crackshot, well, actually, Crackshot's got 3.
Crackshot's at 8 radius.
Yeah. Okay, so they're both 3 up, so that's 200 each. 200 each, I believe. I believe the default radius is 5.
5, right. So wouldn't Crackshot, if it ups by 1.5 each upgrade, Crackshot's on the 100 mineral upgrade,
Yeah, I
and
think
Sonya's
they're
on the
both on the-
200?
I think they're both on the 100, right? With Sonya.
Tanya's
Goes-
one up.
His is
51
9. Oh, so
too,
his is
no?
100. Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, they're both at 8.
Oh, it's
Tanya's
kind of
at
weird.
9.
Yeah, so like I click on the different ships, and for a second it'll say 8, but Sonya is actually 9.
All right. So I can tell you now, since Crackshot's at base, he's on the 100 upgrade.
Is he?
Now we're just having surreal arguments about blink radius.
It's important in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is interesting though, because I agree with you. I clicked on different ships and it said 9 once and it said 8 once.
I think it's just also a sign that we've now been streaming for 3 hours, some of us, that you know, we were just looking at these numbers like, is that an 8 or a 9?
So I will click on Crackshot, and then I'll click on Sonya White sometimes, and then his blink will still say 8, but it is actually 9.
Interesting. Amigo
Scan.
Deers,
But-
side blasting up to
Or the-
1800.
The teams are generally doing what you expect them to do, so I think that's also part of the casting, right? I mean, we've got Blackout and EMP on Abra with 550 energy. Delta 9 has basically every spell except for Warp for the Levy.
Sonya White has jumped to the beam. He has 10 shields. 14
So,
beam at 122 beam speed.
They're looking for something right here.
And he's pushing out top.
Yep. You know
Nanic's
what?
going to warp in and black out.
Absolutely.
He pushed out top and he kind of showed himself
Yeah, he
to crack on purpose
And
maybe.
he's
And then
trying to eat the
Yeah.
imp.
I think he's probably asking his team, "Are you guys ready? You guys ready?" He's like, "No, we're not ready."
One thing I'm wondering about is on the Overlord, right? You know, a very strong response to Broodlords for the Overlord can just be the Sonic Shockwave, the ultimate. And Amigo Deer has not really gone that route, it's focusing more on the 2100 damage Psy Blast. But I'm wondering, just in terms of, maybe just pushing Severf up to maybe try to get on that Arbiter. Maybe Amigo Deer should be picking up his Sonic Shockwave here before these broods get any bigger. Which they will
be,
with...
although, I was saying, you watched in that last push out with his one-shot Muta, he took care of them pretty quickly. My guess would be when the broods get up to 15 to 20, he may be more concerned with them.
Yeah, when the
thinking
energy is up, when the broods are stronger, they just get very hard to deal with. It's
oh yeah,
team on Delta.
Broods are strong when they're.
Aber does
the
not
guard is
have
red.
DMAT, so this is just a threat of a imp and a blackout here. Very close game at the 33-minute mark.
Yeah, and Abra is still only on 2 spells at 30 minutes. I mean, that tells you how much he has to respect what the other team's doing.
You just gotta be able to...
Sonic remains the lowest ship farm.
You rotate him out every now and then. Interesting scant.
Well, that's what's hard, right? At this point in the game, you want to get him farmed, but you can't expose him to a snipe.
And sometimes it seems like the farm just won't come when you want it to.
Right. Aces all together on the top of the map facing Red Alert's composition. They kind of were letting the bottom lane be through. There wasn't much coming through anyway. And now they're going back to free.
Another benefit of the broods is denying farm of the other team's support ship. If you have somebody focusing the broods on their support, they can't farm as well.
So we're coming up on a 35-minute mark here. Game 3
Yep.
of AcesHi versus Red Alert is 1-1. And Red Alert with a 500 farm lead, holding decent position.
Abra went back with 300 minerals and picked up, I believe, 10 shields rather than DMAT. Strikes me as an interesting choice.
Yeah,
Point-
it's
Probably a
odd.
good choice.
Well,
He's okay on EMP blackout, and his ARB is okay on feedback and cloak.
Parasite now in the Guardian.
2 more
Yeah.
broods on the Guardian too.
Observer just kind of chilling at base.
But like you said, when they move into DMAT and boost, especially boost on those broods, that might make a big difference in this game.
Boost on
Amigo's
broods
farmed back here.
or
Amigo's
boost.
farmed up.
Red Dog is a very good Arbiter player. If he gets boost or stasis, that could be one of the winning factors. If he's with the Void Ray or broods.
Yeah, last game when he had stasis, he put it to really good use.
This is again the situation I was talking about at the beginning, where the Colossus just really doesn't like pushing into Broodlords the same way it does against Siege Creeps. They really kind of wait for Severf to get up there to tank all the brood damage.
Yeah, and this is where the Dread really shines, right, versus broods, as opposed to the Colossus.
Ivan went back just to pick up, I'm pretty sure, his ultimate. Let's see if he applies it. Yep, there it is.
He's gonna whoop out.
Red Dog is cloaking his team. They're looking for a move.
They're pretending to be the Sharks.
Well, at any time in this, now we're getting into the 40 minutes, like both teams are looking to take advantage of a split. Neither team really wants a ball versus ball fight. Both teams want the other team to be split up and try to
Dive on Amigo Deer. Delta backs out. Okay. Taking some heavy damage though.
Wow.
That side blast is very,
Delta-
very strong.
Delta needs
Whoa.
to get on
Oh.
that.
Take a lot of damage.
Lance,
Oh, another
3,500.
Oh, you got EMP'd. Another lance or two, that would have been in danger. It's a good EMP.
A big push from Red Alert. They really flexed their muscles there.
AcesHi actually has the late game with the Brood Lords and all the denial. There's no need to really play so aggressive, especially no DNAT on for the levy.
Yeah, they need the D-Met at some point here.
That
I'm
push
surprised
though
that-
too was without the Void Ray.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Red Alert hasn't utilized the Void more to warp. Although Aces has played far more carefully, they haven't been up on Red Alert's towers as much.
Here,
Danya
Crack
has
shot,
DMAT.
Crack is now up to 9 blink radius.
With 12 beam.
Red Dog still on 2 spells, cloak and feedback.
Tanya has gone back early. He's now pushing out on the top side. He might be looking to set a warp point, but Abra's there. Abra sees him. Tanya
Whoa.
drives right at him.
Oh, I say maybe he just goes right at him. Who cares if you see me? My team's coming.
Hello, Raven. I am the Void Ray. Would you like to imp me, please?
There's 2 missed EMPs.
yeah.
I think you pressure this after 2 missed EMPs and your team warps in, you force them to black out.
Brood's
Especially
threatening bottom
since-
tower.
No, what I say, especially since that wasn't much of a threat on bottom tower, I feel like they could have pressured those double missed EMPs a little bit more.
Donnie White has gone Purifier to help with denial.
And now he's going after Crack Shot.
Oh, they blinked in bottom, but I don't think anything's happening down here.
No, Crack's plug bean's kicked in. He'll run away.
Well, Andy can cloak too. Void versus Void at this point in the game, it's without a support ship to help you, nothing's going to happen.
Crack
Oh
will
no,
construct him
Crack's
out.
making a play. Yeah, he's warping up top.
The Overlord and the BC are a little
Oh,
weak.
Frenzy. Here
Frenzy.
it is, the play on the top.
Intercept.
Obi.
Amigo Deer is the target. Beam on Amigo Deer. Amigo Deer is 2,000.
That's how you do it.
Amigo Deer goes down.
This is-
Crackshot is low energy though. They could get a rebound.
But look, Tanya White is on the Guardian.
Yeah. If
Yeah. So at
Guardian's
least
gonna, someone's
it may
gonna
be
die.
a trade, yeah. It might be a trade, but at least it's
Dead Knight 3,000, 2,000. On the Arbiter.
Oh!
Blackout.
Blacked out.
no blackout.
Ivan's still
Not
alive,
gonna be a
though.
trade. No
Dead Knight is
trade.
still alive. Red Dog is still alive.
No
That was a
trade.
clean kill on Amigo Deer.
Well, that's the danger when you get to this point in the game, when you just can melt before anyone can react.
One thing I do notice is Crackshot's energy is at like 500 on the Void Ray. It is fairly low if he gets denied once. And Sonya White has 2.06 speed versus Crackshot's 1.96 speed.
But it did
Warp
work out
in,
for
intercept.
Crack, though,
Subverf is the target for right now.
there. Yeah, that
Subverf.
warp in.
9,000,
Oh, yeah.
8,000, 7,000. They're back.
The frenzied levy
Ivana's
with,
popped invulnerability shield.
the frenzied levy with the coordinated warping on the Void Ray was clearly very deadly.
It's the corruption there. The corruption lowers.
Yeah, corruption, and then let the Void Ray use that corruption.
Oh yeah. Now without the Overlord, Red Alert kind of doesn't have as much of a defense in the middle against the Brood. The Overlord was playing a pretty key role in taking those Broods out with its mutas, and also with its
Well, and he was their second
Yeah.
highest farm ship. I mean, almost double some of the other players.
Yeah, more than double of Sanic, certainly in particular. But also, that's a big part of their DPS. Amigo Deer had the Side Blast, which really would have, as the game went on, punished Delta 9. And now the question is how, are they looking at last game again, where they just have a hard time dealing with the Leviathan?
Yeah, which ship do you try to stop? You try to stop the Levy, or you try to stop the Void, but you stop one, the other one's going to get you. So, not to mention the Brutes.
Sig Jam locked down. His Thermal Lance is 1,800. Broods are at 14. "16 tentacles on Delta 9.
I'm very curious why 3 players on AcesHi are 3-shotting the Guardian and 2 supports.
They don't need no stinking farm.
19 beam on Crackshot. Stasis on Red Dog. 18 broods on Dead Knight. This is starting to get very, as you were saying, this is getting increasingly difficult for Red Alert.
Yeah, Red Alert's at a point when they no longer can think about trying to counter what Aces is doing. They've got to almost force a play that's favorable to them. It's never going to be 100% favorable, but there's got to be something they do that they have a slight advantage and they just force it and see if they can get away with it. Whether that's take a tower or have a blackout play, but they're just gonna, as this goes on, they're gonna run out of options with the broods and everything. Broods and Levy and the Void Ray and the Raven and the boost.
Yeah, the broods at 18, they do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And he's got 5 of them up. 2 of them up.
Oh. Yeah, 18 broods are gonna take that tower down real soon.
Yeah, they're either, if they protect it this time, which is gonna be close, they may not protect it next time. So they got to think about their own type of a play.
Turn. Frenzy.
And
Nuke.
that's just for a blackout.
On Fig Jam.
All that's good for is a blackout at this point.
It's gonna hit.
Take his shields on less than half, which are instantly recharged.
240 shields a second on the Arbiter.
Yeah, the only benefit of that nuke I saw was an extra blackout.
Red Alert could potentially pull this off. AcesHi's Void Ray still has 500 energy, and he could definitely use Chrono Rift versus the other Void to dislodge the beam on the target.
Oh yeah, and we've seen last game too. Sonya made a great play, 1 versus 1 and crack shot, but they also didn't have a Guardian last time, which is just assists in the punishment when you're down a ship.
Yeah, Dead Knight's been playing fairly safe. He sits in the back of their formation there and just drops broods.
Cloak.
Looks like
Void Ray
they're
blinks in on
another
Severf. Severf is going... No intercept yet. Corruption.
That's the corruption. There it is. Corruption with the Void Ray. That's
Bioplasmid. Severf down to 6,000. Not a full commitment on Severf. Not until
Sonya
almost
has
hour get there.
in this conflict right there, Sonya was unable to do much damage on the right side.
That's the ticket, right? Like, he either needed to help out or go make his own play, and he didn't do either of those.
And Crackshot's on the top tower now. Looks like both of Red Alert's towers will go down.
Red
Very
Dog
soon.
has stasis, so they could easily just stasis the Void Ray and kill him.
Yeah, to see Red Alert getting sucked into trying to counter what Aces can do, and at this point you can't. You just they don't have the ships. They don't have what you need to do to counter the other team. You got to make your own play.
And Aces here has built a 1,200 farm lead. That's almost insurmountable.
I would say it could go either way, because the Void could overcommit on AcesHi, or even Delta 9. We've seen him almost die from overcommitting once at the beginning. But yes, AcesHi definitely holds a advantage if they just play it safe. That's all they have to do, really.
Yeah, I think right here, before Aces gets back, I'd love to see Red Alert try to make some sort of a play instead of just farming. I mean, if all Red Alert does here is farm, and then back when AcesHi pushes, there's no way they're going to protect their towers. That's my prediction. They barely skated away protecting their towers before AcesHi upgraded.
Yeah, the shields are still recharging there. If the shields don't get a chance to fully recharge, then they might go down next push.
Yeah, well, especially considering that Aces has had a chance to upgrade their damage in the interim.
Yep, crack at 19 beam. The Brood's at 19.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they
Brood's
both,
still at 18.
both towers are going down this time.
Certainly the point where AcesHi is starting to flex their muscles more and more. The 18 Broods, the 525 energy Leviathan, and Crackshot now at 700 energy.
I mean, is Sonya... He's gonna... Yeah, and even Seeker Missile. I mean, that's kind of the big indication that you're winning pretty
Battle
heavy.
station is going down, 4,000, 3,000.
Oh,
This is gonna be a slow back by Aces with a turn.
Nope, they don't quite commit to it.
No, Ace is gonna turn here in about as soon as this invuln is done. Ace is gonna turn around on him.
Red drops Broods. They're getting ready to turn. There's the turn, but Red Lord kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I did too. So if I saw it, it was obvious.
Crackshot's going for the other tower as the Broods harass Red Alert.
Yeah, that's gonna be the danger. Good job by Sonya holding off Crackshot on that tower.
Sonya's
But-
just flying around with his charge on all the time. He's just ready to engage. He has so much energy that he can cast charge and have his energy regen ready for the next cast.
Crackshot has upgraded his
Easy.
energy to 700, so that's good.
Ace's siege creep here is helping them now too, and they've just got such an advantage. I think Red Alert's using all their resources to save this tower.
It's such a situation where a single blackout doesn't even necessarily give them the play they need. Big Jam
It
popping
doesn't
invulnerability,
really
they're
use
going
Blackout
for the
more.
tower now.
Yeah.
Danek has been sitting on Blackout. He's neglected to use it. He really hasn't created any opportunity. He's been using it as a safeguard, but he just hasn't deployed it.
The first battle station is now gone down. Red Alert is now down one ship and one tower.
Looks like they're looking for the perfect blackout, but they're not causing any disruptions, continuously looking for it, right?
Yeah, and they're just and they're taking damage in the meantime. So Aces is even less worried about them pushing out because they're already damaged. So even if they do push out, Aces just turn on them when they get about mid-map. And halfway down the map, Aces will turn around on them and push back.
If Santa could use the Blackout on the Colossus, or maybe the Raven or the Arbiter if he can get to them, or even the Void Ray, just to throw it, just to get something.
Yeah, that's true. But do you see any AcesHi ship with more than 50 damage, even on their shields? I
No,
don't.
they're staying well back. They're doing a good job.
They're
of
all
containing.
100%.
Delta 9 is 22,000 life and rapid regens for 27,000. So
And
there's
they've
just a lot of
increased-
regeneration on this team all around.
They've increased their farm lead to what, 1,800?
Yeah, and Ace is way farmed up. Crack has 1,200 farm. Abra has 1,000 farm.
One thing I note though is Abra is alone. Red Dog has gone back to the base. This would be a decent time to try and make a move, but it looks like all of Aces are going back.
Yeah, Red Alert, though, they got to make a play. They can't just farm as Aces goes back and then collapse back into their base.
And
That kind
Sonya
of
wants
pattern.
to. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
it's hard to recognize these situations and
It
to
is,
get
but-
in exactly on time, right?
This
Yeah,
upgrade is very decisive because of just how many minerals, both Abra and Crackshot and Dead Knight, Red Dog, how many they were able to accumulate and save. The amount of increase in their power relative to what they were just a second
Here
ago.
comes another one.
Huge.
Yeah,
Intercept
this farm and then
beam
fall back.
on Delta 9.
Oh,
Beam on Red
there's a
Dog.
way
Red
up.
Dog,
Oh!
1,400. Red Dog goes down.
All right, well that's...
Fast
but
forward,
take it out.
6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000.
Transfer
Fast
shield.
forward is dead.
Diet could have threw D-mats at the very
Yeah,
least.
D-mats are fast transfer shield.
Oh.
Invulnerability shield is popped.
Lots
Sonya
Yeah,
White.
D-mat the VR.
Yeah, now the VR's in trouble.
Sonya White blinks the lance.
He's got to D-mat him. Why is he not D-mat him?
It looks like they'll just stage.
Wow, that was a
with
good move
kill
there.
exchange. Red Dog goes down. Fast forward goes down.
It's almost exactly equal score change, I mean, both ships had almost exactly 800. It's a losing lockdown for Cloak
Here's the siege.
and everything else, because Red Dog did just pick up every single Arbiter
This
spell.
tower's gonna go down. I cannot see them saving this tower.
7,000 on the tower.
Sonic needs to use that DMAT more. He did not use it that
Yeah,
often.
and that BC, I feel like he could have saved that. Well, I don't know, save the BC. He could have kept him alive longer to allow his team to make a counter play.
But this is perhaps the first time Sonya White has had any breathing room in this game. Now really just purely working around Abra's Raven.
That Seeker will do it.
But you know, Red Dog is down. That was a big loss for AcesHi.
Yeah, no more Cloak.
He was kind of key in the Cloak there. AcesHi has to stay together now, and they're totally relying on Abra for energy now.
Red Dog is, in my opinion, probably AcesHi's best support player, and that was a big move.
I agree.
Sort of an 18 range with the Gauss, and there is no Dread, so Fig Jam won't take any damage through Hardened, and Delta can just regenerate, but the Siege really keeps the Broodlords under control. So Dead Knight can't just win the game by killing the Mothership so long as Silverf is sitting out here with Siege mode on.
Yeah, Abra has to be careful too. If he throws a blackout to take down Sever, then he leaves himself very vulnerable to Sonya White.
Yeah, and he's creeping out away from his own base.
Agreed. It looks like Sonya wants Abra to throw the blackout so he could blink in.
He's just waiting for it.
He wants to dodge it and kill Abra.
I'd be surprised with Aces the way that they're sitting in this game if they make a play before upgrading again. My guess is they do one more round of upgrades before they make a big play.
Yeah, they're comp. They could still win this. They just need to keep harassing Red Alert. They have obs as well, so yeah, they should just continue to play it safe.
The simple fact is that Fig Jam and Delta are both so high in HP and regeneration that Sonya can dodge an Imp, but nothing is going to go down in the time of just one Imp, with the possible exception of Dead Knight. That's really, you know, the target somewhere in here would either be Abra or Dead Knight.
Yeah, what I see is Abra, he's got 575 energy. With the Void Ray and the Raven against Abra, there's a significant chance that they could kill the AcesHi's Raven.
That would break the game.
That would be the play, and then can they get away with it? Can they get out after they do that? That would be, if they do, that would be huge.
Yeah, the other target would be Dead Knight, the Guardian. If they could take one of those two ships out, it would give them a lot of breathing room.
Delta getting really close on Severf, just able to walk in and drop Corruption.
Well, yeah, and Sever, I think, got a little bit too far away from the base here. He's not getting healed. Well, he's not damaged yet, but I don't think he'd be healed if he's that far away. I think he's creeping out too much.
It's always a strange thing when 18 Gauss Cannon Siege mode is not really enough to keep a Leviathan back.
I also noticed one thing about the Colossus on Red Alert's team. He's going like 19 shield. In this case, I would go high energy and then try and go invo and then potentially try and run down someone.
Now Aces here is going back for upgrades. They're going back with a lot of money. Crackshot's got 1,300 to spend. Big Jam has 1,700. They're going to come back very strong.
Yeah, they're 2,400. Oh, sorry, 2,400 over farm now.
And all of Aces players have more than 1,000 score. Whereas Red Alert's still 2 players less than 1,000. We got to pause.
Who's Abra? Is that the team?
Abra is the Raven on the blue team. They, they've been playing for an hour now. They have to piss.
So
Yeah,
anybody on the team can call a timeout, or you got to go back to base?
No, Abra's the captain.
So the captain can call a timeout?
Yeah.
And then you only get 3 a game.
Oh.
2.
And I left my mic on. Alright, so let's just do a quick rundown. So, Fig Jam has just about everything. His lance is at 2,000 damage, 16 shield, 7 lasers, 7 missiles, even some escorts, because, you know, why not? Delta...
Tons of energy, too.
Yeah, it's the 775 energy that really makes a big difference here. Delta, 600 energy. He's had everything for pretty much the entire game, up to 15 on Battlestorm and 9 range. Abra, 12 shield, 13 laser. Seeker still hasn't, I think, picked up his, last few spells, but, what exactly does he accomplish with PDD here, other than maybe mildly inconveniencing Yvonne? Dead Knight, 18 broods, 7 needles. He could go back to 2-shot maybe here if they think that they're not going to seal the deal here in the next 5 minutes.
If I was Abra here, I would go all shields.
Alright, because...
What?
If I was Abra, I would go all shields. Make sure that I do not die.
I guess so. I would also get more energy if I were Abra, because if he misses once with the blackout, and Crackshot does not have Chrono Rift, right? So if Abra misses once, then that could cost them the game, because the enemy Void Ray can go double charge Purifier and suck all his energy out.
Yep.
Another thing I notice is the Dreadnought on Red Alert has like 18 range siege. Dead Knight's Broods on AcesHi is range 17. Dead Knight can match the range and increase harassment.
Abra is saying ready. Sounds like they are back. Not sure if... Nope, Yvonne, Red Alert has also used this opportunity to take a quick break. Thankfully, our observers are back now. This is quite a situation. I think, I mean, it sounds strange. I would pick up PDD at this point if, why not? He has 980 minerals, but, yeah, I think getting just some more shields, maybe even, like, just a little bit more armor in case he gets some fighters on him at some point. When you're in the base here, they do at this point do 23 damage. So if he's not on one shot...
Typically these ships, the Terran ships especially, and the Protoss ships who have hull and armor, they don't get hull, and they favor shields in the meta currently. But late game, it's just worth it to put a little bit into hull, just in case.
Right, it's just do you at some point, will you at some point need to actually go, dive inside the command center, in which case, just a little bit of hull can actually make a bit of a difference if you really start taking some damage. Of course, it's going to do nothing to the Void Ray or any of the real big threats. It's just a quality of life upgrade, really.
PDD would be good for the Broodlords. So yeah, that's minus the siege, but otherwise, yeah, it's going to help out.
No Guardian Shield yet for
Yvonne. It would be interesting if there was a spell that would strip all shields from a ship.
Like
and
an
then it would make hull actually useful.
Like in Legacy, is that what you're saying?
Is there one? I'm not sure if there's one in Legacy.
There is.
There is one in the Colo in Legacies. I think there is one in the European 3.1 version as well.
How about if you infest a Raven and use Overcharge or whatever it is?
That's very complex.
Yeah, but how are they gonna do it? They're gonna do it to his own their teammate.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get your teammate to get a traitor, then infest him, then use Overcharge on the other team. No, because the interesting with that infested Raven, when you cast the spell on it it removes not only all shields from all the units, but also all energy and energy regen for a certain amount of time. So it's the one thing that can take the shield down on the base instantly. If you're going for a base snipe.
So we're now only less than 21 hours from the time for the ECL versus DPA game tomorrow.
Yeah, I need to sleep, man. When's that gonna happen?
I think it's supposed to be 10 o'clock Eastern.
I think so, either 9 or 10. One of those two times.
And right now it's noon in Moscow on Saturday, the 11th.
How late is it in Eastern now?
4,
Aces has ready to
4
fall asleep.
a.m.
On
I'm
the
ready
East
to fall
Coast,
asleep.
4 a.m.
Yeah, it's 4 a.m. for me right now. I'm ready to fall asleep.
Red Alert is pulling some Sun Tzu shit, you know, like wear your enemy out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're extending this pause.
it's working for me.
I think they might be waiting for the stream to catch up so they can see what
Yeah.
Aces is
Well, they know
upgrading.
what they have ups. I mean, they have everything because everyone. It's an hour into the game.
Everyone's
Everyone
about-
has everything.
Everyone
right.
has 1,000 farm score. They've got all that they want. Yeah.
But they're gonna look at like the very fine details, you know, such as I mean, so they could use this pause to their advantage to look at what the enemy ships are lacking, right?
Which would be nothing. I mean,
No, like AcesHi's Raven's lacking energy. Their Void Ray should really get Chrono Rift against another good Void Ray.
And Purifier.
And
Yeah.
Purifier,
well,
absolutely.
he has
yeah.
1200. We don't know what he's about to spend it all on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pause was well timed. It was before they upgraded.
This,
So
is-
they'll
this was the
probably get
Aces
it
High
now,
metagame.
right?
Pause before you spend on upgrades.
Yeah, no doubt. We give Red Alert a hard time for expending this pause, but Aces is the one who asked for it.
Oh, they're taking advantage. They're saying, no, we're not ready, though.
So we're going to cut to another commercial.
Should we go back to a discussion of what the Aces High theme song should be? Like to thank the 26 viewers we still have through the pause. So, do you think that with a blackout, Aces can seal the deal, or do you think with one good blackout could? I mean, is this still a situation where Red Alert can turn this game around?
Red Alert can certainly turn this around. You only need the Raven and the Void Ray to turn this around for either team, and both teams contain that.
Yeah, my only concern is that Red Alert has shown a lack of urgency on the last 2 pushes. Like, understanding that they're losing this game, and they just allowed Aces to back up, upgrade, push back out, take a tower, take 2 towers, and then back up and upgrade without ever trying to force a confrontation that might be beneficial to them. Now, granted, Aces has been playing pretty safe.
I don't know what my comp freezing in 1 to 2 minutes means. It's not cold in Russia in the winter, is it?
I don't know. It probably is, man. It's usually cold, most places, right?
It's not cold in Russia in the winter.
Well, I mean, there's different seasons in different parts of the world, but I would assume it is cold in Russia.
Yeah, it depends on where Sanic lives.
But we haven't.
I'm trying to calculate the Void Ray damage of both VRs right now, since we're not doing anything.
It is currently 30 degrees Fahrenheit in Russia. It's
Which
not
part of
terribly
Russia?
warm. Or at least in Moscow. I mean, Russia's so big, different places can have different temperature.
Yeah, so we have reports for our viewers that Sanik's computer is freezing. Literally freezing.
Well, I mean, that doesn't really make sense because computers can withstand like extreme cold, right? Usually, if it's overheating, it's going to underperform. But I don't know. It's not like a car. Not exactly like a car, right?
Yeah, definitely not. Or one would hope not. Especially not with my luck with cars.
There's far less moving parts on a
We
computer.
have a ready from Ivan. 3, 2, 1 from Abra. We're back in the game.
And we've restarted.
And
Aces up one
Crackshot does pick up Purifier. Does not pick up Chrono Rift. You don't need no Chrono Rift. That's not how he rolls.
Red Alert not really pressing for farm here.
No PDD from Abra.
Although Ivan has gone down to the bottom of the map, but he's going back now.
900 energy on Big Jam. That's a 900 energy Colossus. With the Purify, you have to think that they're thinking this is the end of the match here, right?
They would hope so.
I would be extremely cautious. Anything can happen.
Tempest's coming in. This is a good timing for push. Saverf is up in siege. 18 range. 20 gats. 1,950 damage a shot. Outranges the Tempest. They just get vaporized. Broods are 15 range. He significantly outranges the Brood Lords. Sonnet on 23 beam. To Crack's 19. But Sonnet only has 16 shields. Only 16 shields, I guess. How often do you say that? Sanic casting Irradiate on the Colossus to control Broodlings, although the Colossus is actually not close to the Broods right now. And there is a dive on Safer. No invulnerability shield.
They
Links
haven't
the
really
imp.
dove into it. They're choosing instead to continue to farm up.
Pushing it again on Saver. Delta getting real close. No corruption yet.
Although Sonya White has started now to completely deny all farm sending out of the base. He's setting up Chrono Rifts under the mothership, and when Red Alert launches fighters in, Sonya takes the opportunity to use Energy Nova to kill all the farm.
He has to be very careful though.
Very intelligent,
Trader status
actually.
would be instant loss.
Oh yeah, especially underneath the mothership. It could be that it's more sensitive under the mothership.
So Sonya's taking a break from that to attack the levy. He's forcing Aber to come over. and
12,000 life on Delta. Beam on Subvert. It's not taking damage very quickly. Lockouts are ready, the invulnerabilities are ready, the frenzy is ready. It's a lot of tension. Everyone is waiting for some sort of commitment, some sort of move to be made, some opportunity to present itself. This is a game that can be very, very stressful for Red Alert, this situation, where, you know, when you go 10, 15 minutes where you maybe feel like you're losing, you can see the score, you know, you're now down 3,000 farm.
I just want to go over the damage. Crackshot is doing about 1,812 damage a second. Sonya White is doing over 2k damage a second. If my calculations are correct. Actually, he's doing more now.
But Abra doesn't want to overcommit and get too close to the siege and the void ray and waste the blackout. It's a lot of tension in this final moment, which does decide who goes on to the finals.
Yeah, and if you notice, Red Dog still has an observer flying around up here near the Guardian. Prevents Sonya White from diving in on that Raven or trying to make a play on the Raven.
It's interesting that Dead Knight really doesn't very aggressively try to land the Parasite. He has the Parasite, but I don't think he's cast it once the game.
He did. He threw it on the Dreadnought at one point.
Okay.
I believe the lowest risk for AcesHi is to increase range on the Broodlords for Dead Knight. He will at least match or even surpass Severf unless he upgrades.
Delta 9 is now huge. Delta 9 at 2,000. Is it 26,000 life?
I think Severf is working on 10 shields, perhaps, so I don't think he is working on another range upgrade anytime soon. Back dodges another imp, but still no opportunity is presenting itself. They can't expend their ultimates and have Sonya White dodge one of them. Ooh, Severf unsieges. Everything pushes in.
Red Alert showing a little bit of impatience here. They're going to try to push out.
Well, it's also a matter that there's only a few ships that really can do anything with the siege mode. The question is whether this creates an opportunity for the Broodlords. It's really the main threat with leaving the siege mode.
Delta 9 is diving in.
Oh,
Both invulnerability shields pop.
Going in.
Yvonne pushing out.
he's
Delta
not fast enough.
10,000.
Oh, he's gone for blackout.
Blackout on
Oh,
Severf. Blackout on Yvonne.
And blackout on crack shot.
Sonya's blackout, I believe, his own teammate. I believe, because Sonya dodged Abra's, it looked like.
In any case, both blackouts are now down, both invulnerability shields are down, Frenzy is down, and Siege Mode is not up yet again to clear out these Broodlords. The Mothership is taking some damage, 2,000 now. 4,000 on the Mothership. Another few exchanges like that, and in another half hour we could actually see the Mothership die.
Got another 70 seconds, about a minute, for the blackouts to be back online. Ever pushing out, and Crackshot is fairly key to this campaign. If any of the Red Alert ships move fairly far beyond the base's shield beam, he can do a lot of damage to push it back.
Command center down to 12,000 now. Or I'm sorry, well, 12,000 shields. 35,000 total. Yeah, pushing, letting the siege push back has let a lot more damage get onto this mothership, which, if it keeps up, I mean, it would be a sad way to end the game.
Overcommitted.
Delta now way overcommitted. He's taking a lot of damage.
8,000 on Delta. But with the D-mats, it's hard to seal the deal on him, especially since Sonya is out of shields.
Blackout is up on both Ravens.
Siege mode coming out, not that it's necessarily going to make a difference here. Big Jam can just spam Hardened Shield as much as he likes.
AcesHi has taken so much farm this campaign. They're all up over 1,500 score except for Dead Knight. Guardian he's been hanging back. And all of them have over 1,000 minerals. Big Jam has 4,000 minerals to spend.
I'm getting... Make sure I don't have something unusual happen here. Delta coming out with 26,000 life. Big Jam just sitting on top of the mother. I can't even see what he's getting.
Big Jam's gone up to 30 rockets and has 28 shields.
Just
With
27,000 total.
energy.
He now almost has more than the mothership. Not quite. Not quite there yet. Aber did now pick up PDD.
Tanya White here might be making a
925
move on the
energy.
tower.
Yes.
Tanya White is cloaked and going along the bottom of the map.
Sonya is thirsty for a tower. Actually, Sanic is also going along top. I don't really know what the idea there is. Maybe...
I think he's trying to distract Abra
diversion.
a little bit.
Yeah.
mind games here. It seems like, yeah, Sonya is now out of range, so Sonya should... The question is if Sonya picks off this tower, is that going to create an opportunity for AcesHi to dive? Is this the moment they've been waiting for?
They're just going straight for the mothership.
Whoa!
They need to demat it. They gotta do it.
Oh
Is it
my
ready?
lord. The mothership is
goes
at
straight for the
25...
mothership.
50,000.
Ace dive
15,000 shields. 10,000 shields. 9,000 shields. 5,000 shields. The warps are not out yet. The Colossus is going to be the first to warp. 18,000, 15,000, 14,000. Sonya's blocked out. They've warped in.
Mothership is at
Straverf dies. The mothership is 10,000. Sonya dies. It was a total commitment. And the semifinals have now ended, or I mean, Sanic is still alive, but
Oh,
wow, what? That was quite the ending.
it was
Hey.
quite the play. I think if Sonic warped in with DMAT and such, it could
Oh,
have
if Sonic had warped in and been able to black out whoever had warped back first, they would have had it.
He would have dug off some secrets too. Oh, he doesn't have secret. Okay. That was a very interesting game.
That was an incredible ending to an incredible group of semifinal matches. Thank you once again to Greater Ninja, Helveticano, and QQQ for casting this game with us, and thank you to all the players that have made this a enjoyable semifinal bracket to watch. We'll be back tomorrow with ECL versus DPA for the other half of the semifinal bracket. I hope to see you then. If you enjoyed the stream, do consider following on Twitch and subscribing on YouTube. GG. See you next time.